Good afternoon.
Last game obviously didn't start the way you guys wanted to on offense. What can that do for you going forward, the way you were able to kind of handle adversity and come out of this?
Yeah, we want to not have that happen going forward. But anytime you have adversity and you're able to overcome it, it always speaks well for your team, for the guys on the team. But obviously, we'd like to start a lot better, and that's been the emphasis all week is starting fast and obviously sustaining it throughout the entire game.
How do you do that? What do you need to clean up?
Not making mistakes, not having those self-inflicted wounds, penalties, turnovers, those type of things, and then obviously going out there having fun and executing. That's the main thing is that we're just out there doing our jobs. I thought we did a better job at that in the second half, and then you could see the consistency in our drives. And so I think if we just do a better job at that, we'll have a shot.
Ken Walker forced eight missed tackles, helped get the offense on track in the second half. What is it about either his style of running or the way he sees the field that leads to those missed tackles?
Man, that guy is Ken Walker, phenomenal. I mean, I can't express in enough words just how good he is with the ball in his hands. One of the best I've ever seen. You've seen him. I've never seen a running back suplex a defensive lineman with the ball in his hands. I mean, just think about just how much fight that kid has. And then, obviously, man, just the things that he does on the field. He's a leader on our offense. We need him to do well, and that's something that we expect from him. And so Ken's been doing a great job since he's gotten here. He's only been getting better each and every year, and so for us, man, I'm just happy to be his teammate. I get a couple blocks in here and there whenever he cuts it back, so I'm able to put some of that on tape as well.
And how much, I guess, grace or leeway does his vision give you when you call a play or when you see pressure from the defense?
Yeah, the thing about Ken is he understands his reads, and he's always reading his keys. We expect the line to obviously, block up front and give him lanes to run through. But at times, things happen, and, some guys get through there. And the great part about Ken is that the first guy is never going to bring him down. You see that every single week. Anytime he's got that first guy, he's going to either run him over or make him miss in space. And then if we can block downfield, if we can spring him to the second level, you can see his explosiveness and just how he can finish runs and as well as he can pull away from defenders. And so like a guy like Ken, like I said, one of the best backs in the league. I've said that, since I've been getting up here. We have a great running back room led by him, and shoot, man, I'm just happy to be his teammate.
Geno, a lot of folks talk with quarterbacks about arm strength, accuracy. Decision-making seems to be a big separator for the best QBs. Is there a part of your decision-making you feel like it's improved and a part where you're still wanting to improve?
Yeah, always improving. There's always room for improvement. As far as that goes, for me, it's about just doing the next right thing. Obviously reading the defense and taking whatever they give me. Not trying to force things. I think that's where decision making comes in. Is when you just kind of take what they give you, make the right read, and allow the system to work for you. And then there's times where obviously you've got to go above and beyond the X's and O's, and you got to make plays when sometimes they aren't there. And so having that balance of the two is very important.
You've played against Belichick defenses before. Does this look like a carbon copy of that, or are there some differences to it? Or?
Yeah, it looks like a Belichick defense. Obviously, they want to be physical up front. They want to muddy up your run game. They want to give you a bunch of different looks as far as fronts go, and then having those thumpers at linebacker. One of them's 250, the other's like 240. So they want to go downhill. They want to attack your offensive line. They want to press the line of scrimmage, and then they want to play man coverage in the back end. They want to get hands on guys. They trust their guys to run with any receiver. And you can see that, man. Coach Mayo, I think he's doing a great job with those guys. They got having them believing in themselves and in the system. And so you can see that on tape from week one. And, for us, it's about just taking advantage of our matchups and then obviously, blocking them up front.
Geno, that was your first chance to play with Connor Williams in front of you. How did you feel that played out through the 60 snaps of the game or so and you guys kind of getting that chance for the first time?
Yeah, I thought Connor did a great job. Overall, just right off the bat, thinking of his leadership. He was very vocal in the huddle. We were doing some tempo, and he was getting guys to the line of scrimmage. He has the right demeanor. He's got the right tone when he's in there. I thought, for a guy who's only been here for 3 or 4 weeks, picking up the system and just allowing us to operate smoothly when we're out there, I thought it was very impressive. Really think the world of him, just the way that he approaches the game, and every single practice matters to him. And so that's something that, we enjoy around here. Love having him as a teammate, and I think it's only going to get better.
Anything stand out about how the Patriots use their DBs, maybe like kind of interchangeable perhaps in the same way Mike McDonald's vision kind of is for his secondary?
Yeah, they're very multiple with their personnel. So you'll see dime defense, you'll see nickel defense. They got penny. They go 5 down linemen where they've got pretty much all DBs in the game, 1 linebacker, and they can get to pretty much any front. You'll see at times Peppers number 5. He can line up anywhere from a linebacker to a safety to a corner to a DN, and they're all interchangeable, like you said. I think they do a great job at mixing up the looks and just making you think a little bit out there. And so for us, communication is going to be key. It's going to be a loud environment, and so we've got to overly communicate and make sure everyone's on the same page, and then just blocking the looks that we see.
The Broncos blitz a lot. The Patriots don't blitz as much. How does that change your approach?
Yeah, I think like when you say blitz with the Broncos, they're just bringing 5 D linemen, so that's considered a blitz or a pressure, but it's really not a blitz. The Patriots are more of a 4-down scheme, and if they do blitz, they'll bring a safety or a nickel, and so that's more of a blitz to me. And you got to be aware of those things, and you got to have your eyes in the right places, reading the right keys to know which guy's going to be blitzing and where your hots are if there is any. But overall, man, different scheme. They run a few different coverages, but that's just the way they do it, compared to the Broncos.
I talked with Charles Cross yesterday. He spoke about the offensive line, just this wanting to finish plays and the physicality. Can you speak to that and what you're seeing from that line?
Yeah, I think Charles alone did a great job at exactly what he said, man. Like, he was finishing plays all game. And you saw in that second half, from AB to Lakin, Connor up front. I thought Stone did a great job. The run blocking was phenomenal, and it really got us going. And when we're led by that offensive line, when they're in their groove and, they're in there, they're moving the line of scrimmage, we're pretty dangerous. And I think that's something that we've got to continue to harp on. They've got to be the strength of this offense, the strength of this team, and that'll take us where we want to go.
Tyler and Mike McDonald were both raving about DK and some things he does away from just catching the ball. And they mentioned that last 3rd down, where he had to set that up. How have you seen DK grow in the last few years as a player, like doing the little things like that?
I think it just starts with his preparation. You think about a guy who's taking vigorous notes. He's studying his opponent. He's studying the game plan. He's on point with everything that he does. Talk about his leadership has grown. He's grown physically, mentally as well. I think that's a testament to the type of man that he is, the type of player he is. And like I said, man, I enjoy playing with him, man. He's one of the best receivers in the game. He shows it every single week. And it may not always show up in the box score, like you said. It may not always be the 10-catch game or the 8-catch game. Sometimes he's, just being a weapon by, being himself and getting doubled and allowing other guys to work one-on-one. And so the things that he's doing is phenomenal, and I just enjoy having him as a teammate.
You get to play the music in the locker room. How do you make the choice of what's going to play any given day?
I just kind of go with whatever we're feeling that time. I get a lot of requests, and so it's usually whatever they request. But I just kind of go with whatever we're feeling. If we need to pick me up, I'll go with some pick me up songs, and just go from there.
If Zach has to play, Ken didn't practice yesterday, so we don't know. But if Zach has to play, what's your confidence level in him, driving on Sunday?
Extremely confident in Zach. Like I said, since he's gotten here, he's been the consummate professional. He does all the little things right. I know he's going to be prepared. With the ball in his hands, like I said, you can see him on tape, man. He's phenomenal. He finishes runs. Having him, Ken, K-Mac, even George in that room, man, I think we have a really great room. But Zach is a guy that we're going to continue to count on. He's always going to do his thing when he's out there, and I expect him to play well.
I think post-game you had mentioned Grubb trusted the O-line to stay with the run game, and you were really happy about that. Was that something he had mentioned to you, or were you just kind of feeling that based on what he was saying in your ear, we're
if you just watch the game and just looking at the plays he was calling in the second half, we called a few run plays back to back, and they really got us going. And so as a player, as a quarterback out there, kind of like the coach on the field, you get a feel for what we need at the time. And at that time, we weren't really moving the ball or executing well. And then once the run game started, everything else kind of, snowballed from there. So just overall, I think Grubb did a great job of just sticking to the game plan and just trusting the guys. And I think guys did a great job of settling down and then getting things moving.
Could you feel the run game kind of slow down their pass rush in the second half?
For sure. You could our tempo, the run game. You could see how those guys were, getting worn down, getting tired, and then the pass rush, wasn't as effective as it was in the first half. And so I think that's going to be a weapon for us. We've got to mix it up and use it when we can. But I think definitely was able to see that.
When you go hurry up, is that your call or is that Ryan, or can it be either one?
Could be either one. But we pick and choose our times when to do so.
That was your first time going through a game with Ryan in your ear the whole time. Just what was that process like? Doing all that with him.
Felt smooth. Coaches called games before, and I've played in games before, so it felt smooth. It's kind of like we go through that process in practice all the time, so it's not like a new thing. And we also had the preseason, the one drive where we were able to get some of that going.
What's he like, just like demeanor-wise, maybe when things aren't going good in the first half?
Same guy. Coach Grubb's the same guy every day, good, bad, or indifferent, and that's what we love about him.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.